In this video, we're going to show how to connect up to and collect data on the AN920 KET composition analyzer. The first thing we're going to do is to take a look at the instrument. This is, of course, the display. The instrument, like everything else, lifts up, and we have a sample well in here that accepts the normal Zeltex KET sample cups. And around the back, everything should also look familiar. We have these USB and TCP IPs, which we haven't really used for anything yet. To communicate, we've been using the tried and true RS-232 cable, which is connected to a USB adapter, as we see here, so it'll attach to a modern computer. The ones we have here seem to work just fine. The display itself has access to the instrument settings, which we see here with the familiar settings logo like you'd see on most Android phones. Press on that and we see date and time, communication settings, display, factory reset, and it also allows you to set up a user identity. If you go under here and check comms, there are several different types. When you're first setting it up, we recommend clicking on the RS-232C. You have to hold it down for a while, and every time you go in, it doesn't look like it's showing, and it's not necessary that you press it again. To get out of here, press the home, and that brings you up to the front. The measure key is right here. We're not going to measure anything just yet, and you can see here we are on the curd/cheese calibration. To change it, you would press the down menu, perhaps select here for ground turkey. Now we are going to connect up to the instrument. The first thing we're going to need to do is to confirm that the instrument is communicating, and it never seems to make any difference whether or not it has previously been communicating. Always check it. It seems to do something magical that actually allows it to communicate. So press up here, COM settings. You'll see it set on COM 6, and that's where my USB is plugged into. And it has the baud rate and the data, the parity, and the stop bit. That's all pretty much boilerplate. Press COM check. You'll hear a ding, and you can see it says communication confirmed. That means we should be ready to connect. So what we're going to do next is we're going to collect up some data. So we are going to calibrate. So we're looking for calibration. And we're going to wait for just a moment. Okay, it seems to come up. Now here it says connect. You might be tempted to think that that means you're connected. It does not. It means you're going to connect. So click on it, and you can see it says cut off. And the channel 5 here refers to the one of several channels that the instrument will let you calibrate on. And showing how to establish one of those is in another video. So from here, you'll see when you want to leave, click on cut off now. And we are going to begin measurement. You'll hear the familiar chirp. Which means it's time to take a measurement. We have a little display here you can see of the instrument. It says without inserting sample, please cover. Make sure the chamber is empty. Press next, and you'll see a little diagram of an LED firing energy through the empty chamber. It now displays the words insert sample. We insert the sample. We are now ready to take a measurement. We see a display here that shows the instrument, showing that we should open it, make sure there's nothing in the chamber, press measurement, the big green button. This is the familiar process of measuring the empty chamber before we collect data. When you hear the beep, you'll see a display indicating we should open the lid, load the sample in, and press measure. Again, we see the display of the LED firing some energy through a sample. Just like on the other Zoltex instruments, we now remove the sample, make sure it sits in place, press the measure button again. And now we have a measurement. This calibration wasn't for soy meal, so it doesn't make any difference. In this case, I think the protein is 2.2 and the moisture is 0.0, which are nonsense results. Take the sample, remove it, close it, and now we'll take a look at the sample itself on the software. And here we are again, and you can see where this was empty. We now have a number, a date, and we don't have any laboratory value, although we could enter that in manually. And just like in our software, if you go off to the side, you can see all the various optical data. To have a look at what the sample itself looks like, we will go up here from calibration data where it says spectra, and that shows us one sample. The count value, which is based on A to D counts, we're pretty sure. The absorbance is pretty much straight up like a Zoltex instrument would be. We see a whole lot of darkness over here on the far left hand side because these go farther out into the visible. And then we have the second derivative, which is based on a calculated calculus thing that we're still not 100% clear on. And down here we would see where we would do the calibration itself. We would select the wavelength range. We can't select individual ones, and we can't seem to ignore anything in the middle, and that's something we'll have to work on later. And this calibration result, coefficients, and calibration graph are all pertinent to the calibration itself, which will be another video. Something that we should be looking at here that I really dislike and have a hard time with is that it doesn't give us a chance to do our own numbering system. Everything is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth. Which means that we will have to keep track of our sample labs and which order they were run in. Hopefully this is something we'll be able to address with Kat later on. That's how you collect up a sample, and that's the end of this video.